Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
Do you want to hear a story? I'm not letting go.
Are you ready for this?
Follow your heart.
I'm going in.
This is
Blockbuster Smash Up.
Welcome to Blockbuster Smash Up. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and as each episode, I'll be joined by my co-host, Todd G. Levin, and our special guests, as we will try to smash one globally accepted good film and one globally accepted bad film into one hopefully cohesive new film for you guys. And before we jump in and meet our guests, quick disclaimer right here at the top, our smash up pretty much gets off the rails right away and gets really crazy, so I hope you guys have a lot of fun. With that said, let's dive right in. All right, let's meet our guests. Here joining us on this episode, we have my fellow co-hosts on Friday Night Quest podcast. I've got Kelly Egan here. Kelly, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
I've got Jeremy Fox. Jeremy, say hello.
Hi, guys.
Oh, no.
Excellent. It starts. It begins.
Oh, God.
Excellent.
Well, here we go.
Well, Jeremy, Kelly, this is the first time I'll be doing a podcast with you, so good luck.
Very exciting.
Bring it.
What do
Bring
I
it.
win? What am I playing for?
My respect.
That box in the corner, you win what's in there.
That box
Full
in the
socks.
corner. It's an R.E.M. song.
So, Todd, you're going to kick things off here with a personal question. We're going to get to know you guys a little bit better.
Yeah, so I was thinking the other day about my past, and I was thinking about
This
just...
is a personal question
normally
about
never-
Todd's past.
So about
normally
me.
never
What
do
did
that.
where was I born?
Where?
No, I was wondering, I was trying to think about the first movie that I could remember seeing in a theater. You know, it's like the first one you can remember, right? You know? So what is it? What's yours?
Oh, it was a double feature, and it was Crocodile Dundee and Short Circuit.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
Wait. Well,
What
yeah.
an experience.
Follow-up question for both. Who took you?
Oh, my dad and his buddy.
I thought you were going to say my grandma, and it would have
Oh.
been the most prescient
Oh, I
answer
know.
of all
I
time.
should've- God, I
Your
should've
dad.
lived
Well,
in
who was
that.
it? Your dad and...
My dad and his good friend.
You know what I found out
Aw.
today? I was going through. I was looking at something that was like famous, like whitewashed characters.
Oh my
Short
God.
Circuit.
I didn't
Such
know that guy was
originally
white.
not a white robot.
Yeah. No, actually, he was supposed to be African American.
Supposed to
Yeah,
be a
that's
black
what I
robot.
heard. Yeah, and then they changed it. So weird. The comics
Wait.
of Short Circuit are just so much more faithful.
You know the Indian guy who's like, I must
Yeah.
disconnect Johnny Five.
Right,
That
right.
guy is white.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And he is
He's
playing an Indian.
Oh my gosh, it's a West Side Story.
It's bad. It's bad. I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know that
and
either.
it like totally ruins the movie.
No,
for
but
me.
I even knew that back then.
Yeah?
I just thought it was funny.
I just didn't.
I wasn't.
You're just a dick. You're just a
Well,
little
you know,
kid.
you're
You're like a
a
racist
kid.
dick.
little piece of shit.
Kids at that age have a full
Yeah.
understanding of social norms. They're like,
Honestly,
what a good
Yeah.
start.
Racial appropriation.
What a good
and,
start
Mine
to this
is
episode.
my first memory. My first movie theater memory is a little bit more pleasant, I think.
Oh.
I saw Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, really?
That was my
good
first. It was
one.
1991.
Yeah.
I was 4. I
Hey,
remember.
did it scare you at all?
No,
Really?
Okay.
no, I was a tough cookie.
Good job.
Still am.
Jeez.
Like
I mean,
think.
it's not the scariest of the Disney movies.
No, it isn't. Well,
Yeah.
it didn't. No, it didn't. My horror threshold is like violence against other people doing violent things to other people unnecessarily.
You almost
Yeah,
said violence
yeah.
against people, which like
no. Then I had to like
encapsulates the whole genre.
Hold on, I think
violence
that's-
against items.
Unless
like,
it's Milo and Otis.
unnecessary gore and torture. I can't.
Torture porn and all that.
Yeah.
Like
I'm the
psycho
same.
torture.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can't do that. Now,
freaks
if
me
a zombie wanted to rip apart somebody, if a poltergeist wanted to possess someone,
All
I'm
classic scenes in Beauty and the Beast.
all normal things. But yeah, Beauty and the Beast. I remember like flashes of it. I remember also Aladdin.
Aladdin, I think, because that was right when Disney was like hitting their stride.
right.
They
It
were
was
just like,
Aladdin after. Yeah,
After.
Aladdin was
It was
I think
after.
it was
yeah,
after,
right.
yeah. So we got to know you guys a
that
little
was
bit
fun.
better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we're going to dive into the smash up. So here we go.
Smash, 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 smash,
Smash, smash, smash All right, this is Blockbuster Smash Up. This is the game where we will take two films, one globally accepted good film and one globally accepted bad film, and we will smash them together for you guys. And we will have to, on the spot, come up with a cold opening, a plot, a finale, and hopefully create a concise film for everybody.
Now you have the globally accepted
Bad film.
and
you have the globally accepted good film.
and I have the good film, and neither of us
Right.
know.
Neither one of us know which one we have.
Yeah.
All right, so here
Okay.
we go on the count of three.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Son
The
of the
Matrix.
Mask.
I know what to do.
Oh,
I'm excited by
boy.
The Matrix, and I'm horrified by Son of the Mask.
All right, Todd, do you want to explain the plot of The Matrix first for anybody that doesn't remember the plot of The
Sure,
Matrix?
of course. If you're
Kelly, have you seen
a
Son of the
moron.
Mask?
I have not.
Have you seen The Mask?
I have seen The Mask.
Let's just imagine the shittiest.
Just stop there.
just stop the shittiest.
That's all you need.
It's
Don't
just
worry.
the shittiest.
I'll recap the plot for you.
All right, let's
No,
do
but
The
it's
Matrix.
true, it's true.
What's
All
The
right,
Matrix?
Todd,
Okay,
so
so-
let's talk about what is The Matrix?
The Matrix, of course, there's a guy named Neo. He's a hacker. He basically realizes through the course of being contacted by these other people or whatever that essentially his entire world is a virtual reality and he's been living in a computer, and the machines won long ago and have created a virtual reality for humans to live within so that they continue their humdrum lives.
A very easy plot
unawares.
for
Yeah,
anyone to
very, very
understand.
easy.
Yeah.
And reducing human beings to the batteries that power said virtual reality kind of world. And there are these people who can go outside of this world and bend the rules, and he learns that he's contacted and he learns he's the one, and he's this messiah, this chosen one or whatever, and he basically he crashes the system.
He like transcends it.
Yeah, he
becomes-
transcends the system.
He can see
and,
the code. He can like break all the rules.
You know what's
That's
funny?
right, that's
What's
right.
funny is the first Matrix. Like all that's really at stake is that he realizes who he is. That's really
Yeah.
all that's at stake.
And that
Yeah.
ship's gonna get squid attacked.
Yeah, his friends.
Yeah.
and saving his friends.
So that's a Matrix.
All right, give me the Son of the Mask.
So I need to tell you guys about the Son of the Mask.
Okay.
So Son of the Mask is the spirited sequel to the Jim Carrey classic of The Mask, and you guys remember The Mask.
Yeah.
It's great. It's actually Cameron Diaz's also first movie.
Yeah, it's her.
But that's not Son of the Mask. So Son of the Mask,
that's not
the
this
sequel.
movie.
So the mask at the end of the mask is thrown into the lake and it washes downstream and it washes into this city for Son of the Mask. And in this movie, we open on a museum tour, and Ben Stein actually reprises his role as a doctor again in this film, but now he's giving museum tours, and he comes up
red eyes.
and
good one.
clear eyes.
That's what he does.
Oh, good.
was
Ben
good. That was
Stein.
Ben Stein, that was solid. So he's giving a tour, and he comes up to a mask, the original mask from the first film, and who happens to be in this tour group but Loki himself, played by Alan Cumming.
Wait,
like
Loki,
the actual
the actual
Norse
Loki.
god Loki, and he's like, "Give me back my mask," and he opens it up, and there's this gag where he looks in the mask, and it says like "Made in Taiwan," and in response, Loki rips the face off of Ben Stein and hangs it in the
The real face?
Yeah. Well, he takes off his face.
He literally rips his face off.
Comically, it's like comically, like Ben Stein's like still alive,
Comic
like
face ripping.
comic face
Kind of like
ripping.
how Ed Gein comically made that belt of nipples.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
exactly like
Oh
that.
my god.
So that's how the film opens. But basically, the film is Jamie Kennedy plays the main character, so that can already establish the credibility of this film. His like dog happens along the, which I think it's the same dog from the first movie, different character though. Happens along.
Milo, is it called? Is his name
We
Milo?
got a contract on the dog. We gotta use the dog.
We got this dog. I mean, we gotta use it for
Pickle,
something.
I love this dog.
His agent's on my ass.
It's the only dog that signed on for more than one film. They were like, we gotta get him for the trilogy. So the dog finds the mask and brings it into the house, and then like they just put it in the house as like a nice
Now,
ornament.
Is this Ben Stein's ripped off face, or is this the real mask?
No, it's a real mask. It's a real mask that's found.
Just have to keep track of all these masks.
So basically, the premise of this movie is Loki is looking for his mask.
So it's a fake. It's the
The
one.
mask that he finds in the museum is a fake.
It's a fake,
Which again is
yeah.
ridiculous because that means somebody made a fake mask of this mask. This mask that's like not really known by anybody.
No, not somebody. Taiwan.
Taiwan did it.
Country.
The real villain of Son of the Mask. So this guy, like, he's going to a Halloween party, and he's like, oh, and he's dressed as like an undead zombie.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, this is gonna suck. And she's like, well, why not wear this mask? And again, this
Who's
mask
she?
doesn't look his wife.
And we said this is Jamie Kennedy.
This is
right?
Jamie Kennedy,
Right.
who's terrible in
Right.
the film. So he puts on the mask, he turns into the mask, and it looks horrible, by the way. The makeup that they used
'Cause
for
it's,
it, it
oh-
isn't an actual mask. It's just like green makeup. Like they just took green paint and painted
he's
his
in
face
green face.
Yeah, he's just in green face.
Oh my god.
Guys,
bringing
we
it
were
back
talking
around,
about it. We
bringing it
got to
back
bring it
around.
back. Green face. And he goes to this party. There's a bunch of dance numbers that are horrible. He comes home while wearing the mask. And up to this point, him and his wife had been on and off about whether to have a kid. And in mask, he impregnates his wife while wearing the mask. There's a really strange shot too of like inside of her, and it shows like mask sperm. I swear to God, There's a scene of cartoon mask sperm.
They did a look who's talking inside of her.
Like swimming up next to each other, like, "Nyeh," and then they race and they race for the egg. This is a scene in Son of the Mask.
Wow.
So
I bet that was the best sex they've ever had.
oh, maybe
For
so,
sure.
That would be unfortunate.
His dick can spin, dude.
it can spin. It goes
Whistle and all kinds of
She
stuff.
must have not noticed at all. Like when he was like, "Oh, God."
I wonder when he came if there was a flag that just came out and said bang.
Said
Good
bang.
one. Good one.
Still missed the G spot though.
Yeah. You fool.
Poor Jimmy
Still
Kennedy.
missed it.
So she gets pregnant.
I'll get it.
Fun fact: Bob Hoskins plays Odin in this movie.
Loki, you fucking, you lost your mask.
Oh wow, wow.
Kelly is looking this up right now.
I'm looking.
I love Bob Hoskins.
I like
Great
having
Bob Hoskins
visuals when
impression.
we talk
So Bob
about this.
Hoskins like shows up as Odin, and he's like, "Loki, you still haven't found your mask." And Alan Cummings is like, "I'm having all this difficulty," and he eventually tracks down Jamie Kennedy and his cartoon son, who, by the way, the cartoon son has a moment as a baby thinking that it's going to send his dad to Crazy Town.
Wait. He's a baby.
He's a baby.
But he's having those
He's a
thoughts.
cartoon.
Yes,
He's a
there's a shot of
cartoon
him
baby.
having like a bubble, like, you know, like cartoons, like boop, boop, boop,
yeah,
like
yeah,
bubble.
yeah,
and he
yeah,
has like imagining of his dad in an insane asylum.
Wow.
And he's like, I'm going to do this. Like the baby
Wow.
thinks this. So he proceeds to just like fuck with his dad for like scenes, drive him like insane. As
So
it's
the
posited in that
baby
scene.
is evil. This is
Kind
like
of.
the bad seed, quite
the
literally.
villain of the movie.
It's weird. yeah.
seed.
And like he does all this like Looney Tunes stuff, like wah-da-da-da-da. The film culminates in the dad like eventually getting the mask on, and Jamie Kennedy and Loki have like first they have a race battle through the city,
Okay.
followed by a boxing match,
Perfect.
followed by like a cartoon who can out cartoon the other one match, and
Yeah.
then Loki then loses his powers, and then like Bob Hoskins Odin shows up and he's like, hey, like, you know what, I'm not gonna, you're out of here,
This
you failed
movie's
for
over.
last
I'm
time.
not
This
giving
movie's
you
done.
fucking powers back, Loki.
And then Jamie Kennedy's like, wait, the most important thing in life is family. Like, you guys should forgive each other, just like I've forgiven my insane son. And then Bob Hoskins is
I had
like,
to forgive my baby.
he's like, you know what, you're right. And it's like a heartwarming ending.
What's funny is that there's actually like a nice message. And,
There is.
And a well-written theme running throughout this shitty, stupid-sounding movie.
Oh, it's bad.
Because it is there because like the father and son situation, and the son
Oh, yeah.
is fucking up and causing
Except
trouble.
Loki is actually like has a personality sort of, while
Yeah.
the son is just a psychopath. All right, so who would like to take the cold open of Son of the Mask and The
okay.
Matrix?
Okay, I'm gonna go really crazy.
Please go
All right.
crazy.
Okay, so the cold open.
Your face. Your face.
Cold open
So cold.
is we're in. Yeah, it's literally cold because we're in a server room.
Ooh.
And
What
it's
is that?
like-
Oh, got
it's
it.
like freezing. It's
I'm
like
with you.
freezing. It's like cold and like ice on all these like,
Computer server room,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Got
Like
it.
rows.
Not like a bunch of
infinite.
waiters.
No, no. It is. It's catering. It's like a catering business.
Immediate hard left already.
okay. All right, shh, quiet now. Okay, so we're in a server room. We like take a turn down an alley of rows, and we just see how vast this complex is, right? And as we near like one of the server systems, we see like in very bold letters, acronym, the Odin system.
Oh, whoa!
nice. All right.
Okay, now we see like an engineer coming in with like one of his protective suits, you know, because it's cold, and he also can't get like shit on things. And he's like sipping a cup of coffee. because
So he's
checking
protected,
shit.
but he does not give a shit about
Yeah,
that coffee.
exactly. Yeah, he's like, no, it's in a thermos. Maybe it's in a protective thermos.
He can't drink it because he's got that
Yeah,
mask on.
it's got like a weird funnel vacuum system in the mouth area.
It's a camelback with coffee in it.
Right. You can hook it up to.
okay.
It's like, and that's hot coffee.
Shouldn't have put it in this
Yeah, no,
plastic bag.
he's like, Command, why'd you make this coffee so hot? And the command's like, fuck you, Gary. You always ask it to be hotter.
Our hero's name is Gary.
I feel like Gary's
we get
gonna
some
die.
really, we get
This
some
seems
really
like Gary's
good
gonna
character
die.
building at the top of
Yeah,
this
good
film.
guy.
And so he's like,
This totally sounds like Gary's heading towards a.
all right, okay, Sector 3 is looking good. Let me check Sector 4. And he goes to Sector 4. And like it's the where we saw the Odin system, and he's like, "All right, shit, this panel looks a little loose." And as he does it, he like rips his coffee camel pack, and it like sprays on the fucking server
no.
system. And then we go into the server system, bling, and it's numbers, and it's like letters flying by us.
Yeah.
And then we're in mild-mannered Neo Anderson's life. That Odin system was the Matrix server.
You know what? This
Neo's-
is the story everyone's wanted to know about, is the server room that runs the Matrix.
Okay, all right.
And so Neo's about to have a surprise in his life because of the coffee that got spilled.
Right, so he's sitting at his computer, right? But he's fast
in a
asleep.
Cubicle.
He's like
Oh,
fast
yeah,
asleep.
he's fast asleep. Right,
and then
right,
all of a
right.
sudden, like, his
Yeah.
computer like
Yeah.
stops.
Yeah.
And it glitches, and then it's just like, hello, Neo. He wakes up and he sees it, and he's like, what's going on?
He's like,
And
is this my Prodigy
My
chat
name
room?
is Chad. Wow, who's Neo?
And then he realizes that he's like spilled coffee
My name's Chad.
Yeah,
on
Chad
like,
Anderson.
the desk.
Chad Anderson. Who the fuck
Yeah.
is Neo?
Yeah. Yeah. Who the fuck is Neo?
So this is
Wait.
This Neo is real aggressive.
Wait, this is like Brazil. So instead of the real the Buttle and Tuttle situation,
Yeah,
the mix up,
yeah.
this is Chad.
Yeah, this is
It's
Chad.
the message is supposed to go to
yeah,
Neo.
it's supposed to go
Yeah.
to the
But it
actual.
goes to Chad, who's played by Jamie Kennedy,
Right.
who's just sitting in his computer, probably like downloading some like porn or something like
Right.
that, you know.
Probably.
Tentacle
Probably some
bukkake.
And maybe his like wife comes in, like knocks on the door, and he's just like, oh, and he like cleans up the coffee real fast,
Right,
and
right.
she's just like, Chad, what are you doing?
Yeah, come back to bed, Chad.
Come back to bed, Chad.
And like he goes back, and him and his wife have long been having a debate about whether to,
Yeah, we learn a little bit more
Yeah.
about Chad.
We
and
learn
his
a little
life,
more about
you know?
Chad
They've
and
been
his wife.
discussing having anal.
Yeah,
They've been discussing for like months.
I just got off of this awesome
They've also been
story,
practicing.
honey.
They've been practicing.
You have to practice.
practicing.
You gotta
Yeah.
work it up.
And they're
Start
like,
with pinky.
I think we're ready, honey.
Yeah, she has
And-
like this little wooden egg that she's
Yeah.
been relaxing and slowly putting it in.
Slowly put it in up, put it in up, put it in up. I think I'm ready.
He's like, how are things going?
And
She's
then-
like, you know what? If you keep pressuring me about
my
it, it's not gonna fucking happen.
But then the door bursts open, and in comes Loki. Give me that wooden egg. And then he takes this wooden egg, and he's like, finally, the wooden egg I've been looking for. Made in Taiwan? What the fuck is this?
Okay, I'm gonna yes and that.
Whose face does he tear off?
Whose face does he tear off?
he tears off he tears off Chad's wife's face.
Chad's wife's face is just
He's like, I
tears
will
it
only
right up."
return this face until you find the right anal egg, Chad.
Yeah.
Instead of the Smiths and the agents that are supposed to keep things correct, they add these mythological characters show up. So Loki is actually a check in the system.
He's an
Right.
agent.
We got an
Yeah?
agent in the system.
Yeah, right.
yeah.
So Loki shows up to make sure that people aren't, they only want people doing missionary
Right.
in the Matrix.
Right,
They
right.
know that the revolt happened in old systems when people started they got into different sexual stuff, and they, for a long time, have been making sure people aren't doing anything other than missionary.
So
Yeah.
Loki showed up because he was like, my job is to make sure people don't have anal.
Especially not with this wooden egg that I'm looking
But
for.
Right.
But
they know if they unlock the anal power,
Okay,
that they
but
can
yeah,
control
yeah,
the Matrix.
right.
So, by the way, I'm very okay with pulling out into the control room.
Okay.
And Gary comes in, and they're like, Gary, like you should see
We're back with Gary.
You should see what's happening in this system right now. Like something's really fucked up.
There's so much anal going on in there.
There's
Gary.
like, oh shit. Well, is our Loki system like taken care
Gary
of?
is
Like,
definitely played by Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. And
yes.
he's like, oh, because I just had a little bit of coffee in there, and the panels looked fine.
Bob Hoskins is his boss.
You fucking spilled the coffee.
And he goes,
yeah.
well, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to go in there, Keanu, and you're going to have to fix it. So Keanu has to now infiltrate, and he has to convince everyone to stop having anal sex.
Okay, so Keanu Reeves, he takes the form of...
I mean, he can
A woman.
He can actually be
A woman.
yeah,
Morpheus
there's not
the
enough
lady.
women in this movie, I feel.
He can
Yeah,
be
not
Morpheus
yet.
the lady.
I
No,
think
it's not
we
yet.
need a producer rewrite. We need more women in here.
Yeah.
I think we need more women
Maybe...
in here.
No, we do. And it's...
We have a faceless wife. I mean, I don't know.
We got a faceless wife who's had no screen time at this point.
So he plugs into the Odin system as Carrie Ann Moss?
Yeah,
as
yeah,
Trinity,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
which,
Trinity's here to fix the Matrix.
which
Fix,
is, by the way,
you know.
a loose.
I like all these words that you're throwing out that can go straight into what we're talking
a
about.
very loose.
Disclaimer to all listeners, we apologize for saying anal so much.
So much.
So much.
Just pretend we're saying...
We're going to keep saying it, but we're sorry.
Pretend we're saying strawberries.
Yeah.
So Trinity, even in the Matrix, is a very loose mythological corollary.
Oh.
I mean, we're still working that in.
Oh, there's still a mythology happening.
Oh, yeah.
And we planned all of this,
Yeah, we
guys.
did.
Yeah.
I know it sounded weird when we started talking about anal eggs, but it all is coming
when
around.
Keanu shows up as Carrie Ann Moss, and by the way, are we
Gary,
Cap?
you mean Gary.
Gary Ann Moss.
Gary and Moss shows up.
goes-
and those are the names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost,
yeah,
right?
Gary
Ann, and Moss.
And he
yeah.
says the full name every time. He goes,
Yeah.
I am Gary Ann Moss.
So when Gary Ann Moss shows up in the Odin system, he is a savior. He is the Messiah.
Yeah.
Because he is the representative of God, the controller.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob Hoskins.
Odin, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Bob Hoskins designed the Odin system.
Yeah, so he's kind of like the father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the son
This
returning.
is the son returning, right,
Yeah.
to the earth. He sent his only fucking son.
Yeah.
This is so great, guys.
Yeah.
This is
No,
the
this is
best.
Okay, so Gary Ann Moss shows up.
We got Chad with a
Okay.
faceless wife. We've got a
Some high stakes.
Loki who came in
Took the egg.
to find a fake egg and is furious and wants to find the real one because he wants to prevent people from plugging into the Odin system. We got Gary Ann Moss coming in, who's really Gary in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how does Gary Ann Moss figure into Chad getting his wife's face back?
So Gary Ann Moss busts into the room.
With
Day
3
2
fingers.
of when Chad is furiously Googling where to find exotic wooden butt plug eggs. We can't find anything, but thankfully Gary Ann Moss comes in and she's like, hey. He's like, hi, hey. Stop what you're doing. We have to stop everything. You're not going to find anything on the internet. We're going to have to go to the source.
And the source in the Matrix,
Yeah.
in the Odin system,
Yeah,
what is the Odin system powered by? What is the source
Nuclear
of the
technology.
A giant chicken.
Nuclear technology
technology.
powered by a giant chicken.
Giant chicken.
Giant chicken.
Who's laying like wooden butt plug eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are the eggs. They're actually forged by this great godlike chicken, which is the oldest mythological question of
Of
what
course,
came
yeah.
first, the
What comes first,
chicken
chicken
or
or
the
egg?
wooden
Yeah.
egg.
Or
Right.
the anal
Or the-
practice egg.
Yeah, the anal practice
Their
egg.
growth and the nuclear power makes them glow green.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And these.
Now, are we talking about a simulated giant chicken inside the Odin system, or are we talking about a giant actual chicken?
you mean
that-
inside the server?
Yeah. No, I'm saying like at the center of this, like,
Right. Inside or outside?
yeah. Is
Yeah.
this chicken?
I think it's inside.
It's
I think
inside the
because again,
system.
everything that goes into the
That's the
system,
source, right?
Because
It's a
outside-
it's a mythological. It takes a
Source.
mythological representation.
Right. Because outside the system, it's just like Boise, Idaho.
Oh, yeah.
Like some sort of
Except,
one-
it's,
Yeah, well-
except it's Asgard.
except it's Asgard.
Asgard.
It's Asgard, Idaho.
Idaho. That's right. Where the
Yeah.
servers are.
Yeah,
That's where the
right.
giant servers
Yeah.
are.
So we cut back into the Matrix with Chad and Gary Ann Moss.
Yeah.
Gary Ann Moss.
Chad and Gary Ann Moss
Meanwhile-
are traveling to the source, which is
Right.
a giant chicken that forges these eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
Anal eggs.
Because remember, Gary Ann Moss wants to get rid of these eggs and want the eggs back in the hands of the mythological creatures and people back doing missionary. They don't want any more of this anal business.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chad, I feel like on this trip is starting to discover that, I was doing this because, me and my wife kind of hit a rough spot, but, I think I like this. I think this is something that people should have an option to enjoy. And Gary Ann Moss is like, no, we can't do that. And
You'll break the Odin system
He
if
is
you
a
do
woman,
that.
yeah.
It's like, so what? So what if we break the Odin system?
people need to choose Gary Ann Moss.
People need to know.
And what Gary Ann Moss doesn't want to tell Chad is that one, Chad's not real,
Right.
And also that Chad,
Because they're definitely
Yeah.
not connected to a body. They are
right.
just
no,
Sims.
they're just Sims, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is a giant missionary position simulator. This is
People go online to search how to do missionary position correct, and they just get a whole database. And if people start messing it up, they start messing it up for the real
yeah.
world.
I mean, honestly, our whole business is destroyed if you guys start having anal sex.
But hidden within this entire missionary system is this coven or whatever, but that's started by this giant chicken, and
You're
this
right
giant
to get-
chicken used to be a mythological figure,
Yeah.
but
It
has
was-
gone rogue.
oh, so you're saying when it's pooping out these wooden things, it's like
It's
oh,
trying
I
to
want
save the
you.
Sims.
Oh, it's like trying to go listen, guys.
It's the Oracle.
Yeah.
the Oracle is a
Oracle.
giant chicken.
The creation of the Odin system for the Sims inside is represented by the chicken.
Bob Hoskins didn't really do any research about Odin, and his logo for his company is a
Yes.
giant chicken.
No, it's an acronym. It's ordinary, direct, itemized, not chickens. I don't know.
I appreciate that you really tried to make that
tried.
word. You really tried.
You tried.
You got most through that word, and you're like, there is no C in this entire name.
I thought just
How am I gonna fit?
Odin's system was just supposed to double for OS, like an operating system.
No, it was an acronym. It's always been an acronym.
We just didn't know what it was.
This is why his company hasn't been so successful, because the acronym doesn't
You're
make
like-
sense, and the
you're like-
logo's a chicken.
Except he's got like just
And
fields of servers.
And all their servers produce is
Missionary.
videos of missionary.
Missionary.
It's all this company is in shambles. And that's, you know what? That takes us to the third act, where
Yep.
where Gary comes out of the system and has to sit down with Bob and has to talk to him about, like, hey, I think the company's not really going in the right direction. I think, you know what? I think these Sims have some ideas with these eggs that we could... I think we could branch out. I think there's other categories that people might be interested
Bob
in.
Hoskins is
He's
like,
just not having it.
In the beginning, I was trying to figure out how to have sex with me wife, and I couldn't figure it out.
There wasn't enough information online.
God.
That's why I built me Odin system.
This all kind of comes back around.
Yeah.
Chad's relationship with his wife is a little bit on the rocks.
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins and his wife is a little bit on the rocks.
Yep.
Gary Ann Moss
Oh, she's been
relationship.
dead for a while.
Oh, his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's doing this as kind of a
'Cause he-
legacy project.
It's kind of to save others people's relationship.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out what went wrong, and by
Right.
watching other people go through it over and over and over again.
Right.
Not realizing that what it really should have been.
Yeah.
And this really culminates in the end when Gary Ann Moss and Chad show up to the source. Loki shows up too, the source being the giant chicken, by the way. Loki shows up as well and is like, they have this epic battle over like, just the fate of these like
Over the control
the
of the
wooden chicken and all this stuff.
Who
And
will
then
the chicken fall to?
Suddenly, like the chicken just like bursts open like a pinata, and all these wooden
Eggs just go
eggs
everywhere.
just go everywhere, and they're uncontainable now, and they're just in every household.
It's like the end of Cable Guy when TV goes
Right.
off and then everybody turns to the books. and
Everyone
start
starts
reading them.
realizing, except
You
the
know,
books are butts.
Butts.
Yeah.
And everyone starts realizing that there's another way.
Yeah.
And so outside the system, Bob Hoskins finally realizes what had gone wrong all those years with his wife.
He put too many restrictions on their...
Right.
He didn't experience, he didn't explore enough.
And so actually the Odin system does help him to understand what went wrong.
And it helps
with
so
his
many others as
relationship.
well.
Right.
Gary, I shouldn't have been so concerned with missionary, and I should have loosened up.
Oh, God.
Loosen up with Son of the Matrix.
Gary Ann Moss agrees that this is the right way and puts the face back on the wife, and the wife is played by probably a very famous actress.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Man.
No.
Like a actress, guys. Anne Hathaway.
Who played the wife in Son of the Mask?
You know what? I looked up the movie. I could not tell you.
I looked at her face. I had
So
no idea who
sorry.
she was. I
You know,
feel really bad.
My original
I
thought
could not know who
is
she
Kate
was.
Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett.
That Kate Blanchett should be.
That is
Okay.
a seriously underserved
No, she's
use of
she's
Kate
in
Right.
the
Blanchett.
movie.
Her face was ripped off
Listen,
the entire time.
She
Okay.
acts so well,
Okay.
she could act without a
Who's
face.
Who's the avatar for Gary Ann Moss? Who's our lead actress in this film that plays Gary Ann Moss when she's in the Matrix?
Oh, I thought it was Carrie Ann
No,
Moss.
she's a little too old now.
No, we shouldn't use Carrie Ann Moss. It's got to be.
Are we living in a world where time doesn't exist? Where Bob Hoskins literally is our guy?
Bob Hoskins.
Oh, then I guess
Michelle
Bob
Williams.
Hoskins is in it, so
Michelle Williams.
That's right. He's
So
the character.
so Michelle Williams
Williams
is going to be our
All right.
So the voice of the chicken has to be played by somebody powerful.
probably Morgan Freeman.
Kate
Let's be
Winslet.
honest. Oh,
Kate Winslet.
oh my God.
I love it.
I kind of love Kate Winslet as the chicken.
course.
She's
It's either that or
she's
Glenn
got a-
Close.
She's, you know what? I think Kate Winslet, she's a beautiful voice. And Alan Cumming is still Loki.
Alan Cumming is
He was like, I
still
had
Loki,
such
yeah.
a great time on Son of the Mask.
Right.
The poster, we got to get into it now.
Yeah.
The poster is mostly Alan Cumming
Right.
on the front.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
The poster is Alan Cumming.
He's back.
holding a woman's face, smiling coyly,
Holding Kate Blanchett's face.
holding Kate Blanchett. clenched face, smiling coyly.
The rest of her body is behind it with her arms crossed, being like, "Can you believe it?"
Yeah, big old eyeballs, big old
My
eyeballs.
face
But
is
then
up.
above him, there's 5 floating faces.
Okay.
Bob Hoskins, Keanu Reeves,
Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams.
What's the tagline of this film?
Oh, I thought we said it. It was like "Stay loose" or something like that. It was "Loosen up." Loosen up.
It's got to be something
Loosen up
like
this summer with.
Son of a Matrix.
There's another way.
So I gotta say, like, there's another way. If I saw a poster with Alan Cumming holding a woman's face, there's a faceless woman with her arms crossed, looking kind of chagrined behind him,
and her like dopey husband,
Yeah.
Jamie Kennedy,
Right.
also like
kind of
there,
like
being
shrugging.
I don't know.
Yeah, shrugging like, uh-oh.
And he's holding like this egg thing. And
Yeah, he's
like,
holding
I
a
don't know
wooden
what
egg,
this
and then there's
is.
like this giant, like, weird silhouette of like you'd never guess it's a giant chick.
and it's called Son of the Matrix.
and it's called Son of the Matrix, and,
And
it
it
says,
says-
there's another way.
You'd be
I'd
like-
be like, I will watch this.
I am in for the weirdest movie.
I am so in.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that was our film,
Oh,
Son
boy.
of the Matrix. Oh, geez, we're so sorry. And now that'll take us into our game,
Marry, fuck, kill. Marry, fuck, kill. Marry, fuck, kill. Marry, fuck, kill.
All right, this is the game Marry, Fuck, Kill, where we will name 3 movies, and each of us will have to decide which movie we would marry, which movie we would fuck, and which movie we would kill. So, Todd, tell us what our 3 movies are.
So the way we like to do this is to pick 3 movies that are sort of drawn together by something strange but very specific, you know? So I've chosen Future Megatropolis, The Fifth Element,
Okay.
Blade Runner, and Minority Report. Marry,
This is
fuck,
easy.
kill.
Marry, fuck, kill. Who would like to go first? Who knows
So
what
easy.
their Marry, fuck, kills? Oh, Kelly, please take it away.
Killing Minority Report. Immediately.
Why would you kill
During
Minority
the opening credits? Just done.
immediately? But what, so you just hate the opening credits of Minority Report?
Here's the thing: I can live without Minority Report. I cannot live without The Fifth Element
And Blade Runner?
and Blade Runner.
So
we
the
can't live
question
without
is-
that Chris Tucker
you
performance.
know,
The question is, in which one would you fuck and which
I
one
would
would you marry?
fuck Blade Runner
Oh.
because it's super noiry
Ooh, all right.
and like yeah,
There's
You want to have
Ford.
that dark night
yeah,
alone with
yeah. We
with
can
Blade
get
Runner.
noodles afterwards.
Who doesn't want
Yeah.
noodles after a good old
We can just glare at each
1-2?
other from across
what about-
the room
yeah.
while
What about
smoking
during? What about during?
during sex with Blade Runner.
Noodles during sex? Noodles during sex?
It's
is that what
the
you're talking about?
future. You can do whatever you want.
It'll be let's just say the lighting will definitely be pouring through like slits of
Course.
like shade.
Oh, that's
shade.
true. That
It'd be
is
like
real hot.
A
Yeah.
That is
hologram
real
like
hot.
Japanese woman.
There will be no like comforters on the
Right.
bed. It'll just be like a sheet and a top sheet.
Got
you
it.
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Okay.
And you would marry Fifth Element?
I would marry the Fifth Element.
And why would you marry the
Because
Fifth Element?
the Fifth Element accepts me for who I am,
Aw.
and I can see myself growing old with the Fifth Element.
really-
You know,
Wow.
I have mine.
Okay.
I would absolutely fuck the Fifth Element. That movie is very fuckable.
Oh, yeah.
That blue opera lady, I mean, we've all had our late nights thinking about that blue opera lady.
Yeah, but when you're fucking her, you're literally your dick is hitting stones.
And she's going like,
Magical.
not true. Although we don't know, right?
you know,
The sex
stick your
would be
hand in there.
The sex would be really operatic, is what you're saying.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would be amazing.
Yeah, she
you would
would-
get a concert all the time.
It's just constant music. You make sweet, sweet music.
And I mean, that
together.
movie
It's
is
kind of like fucking a squeeze toy.
that movie is pretty.
like the most beautifully melodic squeeze toy that there ever was.
We are assuming she has a hole in where we
That's
think
true.
there
It's
is
really
a
like
hole.
it's really more
Yeah.
Her
like
hole
fucking
may be
a,
at the back of her head.
Right.
it's really like more like fucking a pipe organ. Is really more like what it is.
I mean, it's a hot movie.
And let's be honest, that's some of the hottest Bruce Willis action
It
in
is.
the world.
It's real hot. I would marry Blade Runner just because I love noir, and if I could have it in my life every day, I absolutely would.
And then that means
And
you
I'd have to kill Minority
You'd kill
Report,
Minority Report.
which is sad because I love Minority Report, but I'd kill it only to prevent it from becoming a TV show later on.
I'm the exact same.
You are marry, fuck,
I'm gonna
kill.
marry Blade Runner because I want to live in a noir. Yeah.
I'd marry Harrison Ford.
And then, Minority Report can just, die because it's basically LA Confidential.
So, Jeremy, what is your
Man,
pick?
it's like I desperately want to think of Minority Report as something that I would maybe fuck. But the problem is that you presented like two things that like I would rather fuck. And I'm actually probably gonna go with Kelly. Like at first I was like I would fuck Fifth Element, but then I'm like you're gonna get real burned by marrying Blade Runner. You're gonna like you're eventually gonna either your wife is gonna kill herself or her husband,
or you're gonna find out that she and potentially you are cyborgs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Fifth Element is like adventure every day.
Yeah. So it's like you marry Fifth Element, and it's not going to be the deepest person that you marry, but it's going to be that person that loves you forever.
Yeah.
And it's going to be that person that believes in magic, and
That's
that
true.
like you together are always going to have fun. You know, even when you take her to your like grandparents' house and they're kind of like using racial epithets, she'll be like, "Oh, that's just grandparents." But if you were
She's
to bring,
the supreme being. What else do you fucking want?
But if
True.
you bring Blade Runner to your grandparents' house and they use racial epithets, it'd be like, the fuck do you have these grandparents? Why do you have them?
You'll find out that the grandparents killed her grandparents.
yeah,
and
yeah,
There'll be
yeah.
a mystery there.
Hey, we don't use that term anymore. Replicant was a term that we stopped using a long time ago.
Yeah, it'd be like back in my day, Ro-Ros didn't walk around like
Fifth Element is a very adventurous kind of carefree world where you can drive a taxi straight through down future traffic and not hit a damn thing.
And you know, yes, like I think Fifth Element's probably one of the best one night stands you'll ever have. But the thing about Blade Runner is like if you've ever fucked a like really dark crazy person, like that's nice. There's a nice like dark that you don't actually want to be involved with. Them.
So I guess in summary, the real winners here are Fifth Element and Blade Runner.
Aren't they always?
I think Fifth Element is really the one that wins out. here.
Fifth Element. Yeah.
And
because I think everybody's
poor
either
Minority Report.
happy to fuck it or marry it.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Everybody kind of reluctantly marries or fucks Blade Runner because they're like, I might catch an STD.
I'll take the risk.
I'll
Hell
take
of a
Blade Runner.
story.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening, and I hope you learned a little bit more about computer servers and giant chickens. And if you're enjoying the show and you've got 30 seconds, a quick rating and review on iTunes would be amazing. Or you could share the show with a friend. Either way, we really appreciate your support. And as always, we'll be posting a new episode every other week. And if you'd like to download more episodes or check out other similar podcasts, head over to partialarc.com. That's ARC with a C. Of course, you can email us any questions at blockbustersmashup@gmail.com, or maybe send us some movies you'd like us to check out, whether they be good movies or bad movies. And you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at partialarc. If you'd like to hear more from Kelly Egan, follow her at Girl Meets Bear. And if you want to follow up with Jeremy Fox, check him out at jleefox. And be sure to follow Todd on Twitter and Instagram at TG11. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of Blockbuster Smash Up.
Let's go home.